Hello everyone, welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Sim news video. I do hope you all had a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate it. I'm back from my Christmas break, so we've got plenty of exciting Microsoft Flight Sim news to dig into. Without further delay, let us get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to start off with some pilotstudd channel news. The pilotstudd Christmas giveaway is now closed. To be exact, it closed at 4 PM today. That means no more entries will be counted. Thank you to the 400 or so of you who entered. The winners have been selected and will be informed via email within the next 48 hours. There'll also be a community post going through the winners. Please do contact me within 5 days so I can get your prizes sent to you. Otherwise, I will select new winners. But keep an eye out for the emails in your inbox from my only email address, pilotstudd.inquiries@gmail.com. And of course, I'm not offering anything else except the prizes. I know there's a few YouTube scammers going around at the moment, but you know, when it comes to the point where they start offering you PlayStation 5s and £2,000 in cash, you know that's fake and not me. So please be aware of that. But thank you so much to all those who entered. It was a really successful giveaway, and I'm really excited to give out the prizes. But now, let's actually get into the exciting news, kicking it off with Aerosoft. They've released some new screenshots on their Aerosoft forum, and that takes a look at the interior of the Airbus A330, an airliner that was actually meant to be released this year, 2022, by Aerosoft, but clearly that never came to fruition. Now we get a good look at some of the systems up close, some of the textures in the cockpit, the lighting, and some of the external model. I have to say, it's good and bad. Some textures, in my opinion, look absolutely abhorrent, and I don't know why Aerosoft are sharing them for any other reason, hopefully, than to just show progress. And some screenshots do give me a little bit of hope. Take the gear, for example. It literally looks like it's been imported from Flight Simulator X. Hopefully it won't stay that way when it goes into Microsoft Flight Sim, because my goodness, that is one ugly hunk of metal. However, as we head into the cockpit, and I guess this is more important than the external model, it does look pretty good. Lighting as well looks fantastic. It's a theme with Microsoft Flight Sim aircraft. The default Microsoft Flight Sim lighting model does allow for any source of light to instantly make everything look beautiful. That's a credit to Asobo's work, but seems to fit into Aerosoft's A330 cabin, or cockpit I should say, very nicely. We get a look at the eCam display and the lower eCam display, which is showing some wheel and gear information. I mean, yes, as far as we can tell, they're definitely going in depth for some systems here, but to the point where you'd expect it to be. Nothing extraordinary. But saying that, going on the forum, and if you scroll through it to see a few questions people have posed, there is one with a photo of a real Airbus A330 cockpit. And on the navigation display there is a taxiway map. Now, I've got to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't know this feature actually existed in A330s. Maybe it's on a newer Neo variant. But basically it gives you a taxi map of the airport you're flying around, or taxiing around in, I should say. Mathis Koch from the Aerosoft team does say that this is a feature that should be coming into the Aerosoft A330. Definitely a more advanced feature. I don't think I've seen it on any other airliner for Microsoft Flight Sim so far. It won't be released initially, but will be coming along in future updates, at least he said. Going off the Aerosoft forum, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt. Let's say they're not the best at sticking to their word 100%. Regardless, it's a pretty cool update. Some good bits, some bad bits. This project will not be coming to us in 2022, for there is only 3 or 4 days left, depending on when you're watching. But it should look like an early Q1 to Q2 2023 release. Also with the Aerosoft A330, I forgot to say, Mr. Mathis Koch on the Aerosoft forum does say that there is a consistent 60 FPS with this aircraft on his computer. That's definitely a winner for me. I honestly prefer to have a much higher performing aircraft, at the reduction of some systems in place than to have a laggy aircraft with the best systems out there. Just my personal preference, but my computer, despite having a decent graphics card, is not a supercomputer, and I've got to be honest, I prefer the simulator when it's running smoothly, as most people would. Share your thoughts down below. Moving over to Top Max Studios. 15 hours ago at the time of filming, they gave us a little announcement. They announced that the Northrop Grumman B-2A Spirit will be coming over to Microsoft Flight Sim. Of course, the infamous stealth bomber. Planes like this always worry me slightly because of the fact that they are still shrouded in secrecy. God knows what military level of clearance you need to actually access documents about this aircraft, but clearly Top Max Studios have got enough connections to the CIA there. Joking aside, it is very difficult to replicate military aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim, even if the aircraft has been out for 50 years, let alone when you move up to aircraft like these. Hopefully they can do a pretty good job. Top Max Studios in the past of course worked on a freeware and payware F-22 Raptor. It's interesting to see that they'll be bringing over a B-2 Spirit bomber into Microsoft Flight Sim, of course used by the United States Air Force as a nuclear capable bomber. I've seen one in real life before flying over, although unofficially it wasn't meant to be flying over, but I saw it and sadly didn't get a picture. Really weird aircraft to see flying over you, I cannot lie. I'm sure the announcement of this aircraft will excite many. For me, it's not a massive excitement, but it'll be interesting to see how an aircraft like this can be integrated into Microsoft Flight Sim, which of course is designed to be a more civilian flight simulator. I cannot see any nuclear bombs dropping in the sim anytime soon, and probably, to be fair, for good reason. Shall we move over to the final bit of news in today's video? Flight Sim Studios, in partnership with Aerosoft, have previewed their E-Jets through an Aviation Lads trailer once more for the fourth and final time. This time it takes a look at the MCDU, the MCDU. The flying computer that is the sort of brain of any modern airliner. Once again, taking a look at the 175, the Aviation Lads team give us an extensive 2-minute or so look of the systems of this aircraft, of course focusing on the MCDU. It looks very nice, and although we're not shown too advanced systems, we're shown the sort of basics of an MCDU. It looks really cool, it looks really smooth. I have to say, Aviation Lads have improved their trailers just in the 4 they've released. This one takes a much slower look at the MCDU and therefore it's slightly more focused, so it does provide us with a little bit more than the other 3 in the series. I have to say the system is somewhat similar to the Airbus MCDU, so if you're used to that, you'll probably slot into this one fairly easy. What also stands out for me, and I did predict this on a video not too long ago, is that actually in the galley there is a little iPad where the flight attendant can control in-cabin controls. I also believe they can open up the door there, which is of course unrealistic to real life, but I did say, I think in the first video taking a look at this aircraft, that it would be exciting to see the ability to change ambient lighting in the cabin via the iPad in the flight attendant's galley. Seems my prediction was right there because it does exist, so that was nice. I was kind of proud of myself there. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that one. Of course, it's the final Aviation Lads trailer for Flight Sim Studios and Aerosoft's E-Jet. I wish the Flight Sim Studio and Aerosoft team good luck here. All 3 of the aircraft in this video should be coming to Xbox eventually. Some are WASM support dependent, but with the B-2 bomber, they've actually confirmed that they're sort of circumventing this by making the aircraft not require WASM support, so respect to them there. If you fly an Xbox, all 3 of these aircraft will be coming to your sim eventually. From me to there, that is all. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you around, bye bye.